The third of our sayings is what's called Lex Talionis, a law of retaliation. Famously, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Gandhi said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. All you end up with is a bunch of blind people who can't eat corn on the cob. Um, the the passage is Matthew 5:38 through 42. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you not to resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. Right? And this is where a lot of people stop in the recollection of this passage. A lot of us think of it as the eye for an eye passage that then goes to turn the other cheek. But look where Jesus goes next. If the first thing is don't retaliate, in fact, let more happen, he then goes to if anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, so if you're taken to court and they're asking for your tunic, let him have the cloak, which is more valuable, also. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, that would be a soldier who's uh, mandating that this any Jew at the time could be mandated to carry things for soldiers. So, and if a soldier compels you to go 1 mile, go with him too. Surprise the heck out of him. Give to him who asks of you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, don't turn away. So I think a lot of us stop this passage right at turn the other cheek. And that's a salient picture, right? I put it on the illustration to introduce this third part. It's a salient picture, the turning of the other cheek, and it's been closely associated with Jesus, and it's been important for the formation of Gandhi's and MLK's and others' nonviolent philosophies and theologies. But it goes on and extends the logic of non-retaliation beyond uh, answering those who hurt you to answering those who sue you, those who master over you as soldiers. And then it even goes wider than that because there's no offense in the last one. Give to him who asks of you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, don't turn away. Notice how. If I get slapped on my right cheek, I'm going to turn and offer my left. If I get sued for a tunic, I'm going to give my cloak. If I get forced to walk 1 mile, I'm going to go the second mile. But now it isn't. Nobody's forcing me. Nobody's hitting me. Nobody's suing me. Somebody just asks something. They need something. And I'm not. Jesus is forming people who will not turn away when that request is made. Now, we aren't going to show the passage, but the Essenes were known for a community of goods and taking care of one another with their goods in a way that looks a lot like Acts chapter 2. This also looks in some ways, this kind of giving over to those who need participates in that world. So again, we may have an Essene echo, but let's see what else is going on. So this is from the rabbinic writings, and it's a way of classifying at a time when they were no longer saying if somebody takes your eye, take their eye, because they had stopped that. Instead, they substituted money, financial penalties, and so one who strikes another must give him a selah, which was a small unit of money in the times. Rabbi Yehuda says, in the name of Rabbi Yosei HaGalilee, that he must give him 100 dinars, right? So there's a disagreement among the rabbis, but there is a cost, a small cost for striking another person. If he slapped another on the cheek, he must give him 200 dinars. So it's twice as much if you hit the cheek. And listen to this, if he slapped him on the cheek with the back of his hand, which is more degrading than a slap with the palm, he must give him 400 dinars. And this is from Mishnah Baba Kama about The collection is from about 200, so maybe 150, 170 years after Jesus, but some of these things were live while Jesus was walking around. Scholars tend to think that the slap on the cheek that Jesus is picturing is the insulting one, the back of the hand one, because it's on the right cheek. And most of people are right-handed and they would have used the back of their hand that way. If that's the case, this was the worst kind of slap. And Jesus says, instead of exacting money, turn and offer the left.